Hello, hello, this is Rod, Live Within Your Means. Hey, I just want you to be able to see what I'm doing here. You know, I live in Utah, and I'm making some yams for today, for Christmas Eve, and for tomorrow for Christmas Day, for my parents' place. And this was a large, maybe you can see this, but it was a large trombone squash. It's a type of Italian squash. Some people call them rampant squash. This was a very long squash, if you can see this. Hopefully you can, yeah. And what I've done is cutting this ball off. You can see that the juice drip coming out there. This took many months to grow, and it's full of sugars. And it's closely related to a butternut squash. And I cut these off. I've been peeling all the skin off of here. And what's underneath, you'll notice the color of this is like yams, because I'm going to call this northern yams. And but this rampant squash can be prepared like yams, and I told my parents that this is what I'm going to be preparing. I've already bought a smoked turkey that we've got to eat over there, and going to have some yams to go with it. You know, my parents are older, and so they, you know, it takes a lot of help, and Dad's able to get around. Mom absolutely requires help just getting room to room. And anyway, here's the peelings. This is the color, you know, just like this. I'm not going to use this whole thing. I'll put this back in the fridge in a sack, and boy, it sure got juice leaking out of there. Rinse that off again, put it in the rack here. I'm going to dump these now into the garbage and cut these up, and they're going to cook up to be yams. It's going to be sweet yams. And so I'm going to treat these now like they are peeled yams. So cut these down just a little bit, and we'll cut them up and be putting them in the pan. So as I cut these up, I just want you to think, oh yeah, they're yams, right? And we'll put them in pieces that are small enough that we can eat them. And one of these, I'm gonna put brown sugar on them. One of these with brown sugar, I am going to also, hopefully you can see this. Let's see if you can, yeah. There we go. I'm debating whether to just have one of them where we can have salt and pepper on it, but the truth is they're going to be sweet. I've got the skins all cut off of these, and I'm going to have one of them for tomorrow and one of them for today. So here we go. Let's cut this one up in the other pan. I didn't want you to have to watch a long video of the whole thing here, but I do want you to be able to see and know that you can do this. You can grow these trombone squash, and there's other squash you can use too. You know, you can use the Queensland blue that we grow, and I've had Queensland blue last over a year. As you look back on other videos, they're great squash. You can make, you know, cook up what's very much like yams out of those also, out of the Queensland blue squash, and you can also use butternut. And there are some other winter squash that are sweet like that too, but the longer that these sit, the more those the leaves through the photosynthesis process are turning that sunlight, using that energy of sunlight and making sugars, and that's what these squash are. They're just a bunch of sugar and starch, and it's very delicious, especially with butter on it. My mom wants some marshmallows on the top on one of these, so I'm going to be doing that, and yeah, they're going to end up being really good. My dad's not one that likes squash, but he sure liked it the last time that I made some, and I told him they were yams, and they were saying how good they were, until I told my dad it was squash, and you know, he didn't know that it was squash. He thought it was yams. So his pride, he likes to say he doesn't like squash, you know. Anyway, you can mix these up how you want to in the pans, and you know, do it however you want. I can make these all neat and cover them up that way, put butter on them. I'm going to be putting some butter in here, and so what I'm going to do, instead of putting butter on each one of each of these, well, and I can mix them in a bowl. That's actually a pretty good way to get the butter on all of them. So if I take this glass bowl and let me just heat up a little bit of butter in the microwave, that way I get this done quickly. So I'm going to take a good healthy chunk of butter like that. I'm going to melt that. That'll only take about 15 seconds to melt in the microwave. But I want there to be plenty of butter on these. I've also got my brown sugar here that's going to be going on these. And then I'm going to grab those marshmallows and put on one of these. So there's my small marshmallows too. To have candied yams. How about that, huh? So melted that butter for about 22 seconds, and let's see, maybe I'll keep those neat and put these in here, and I'm just going to stir these around so they've got plenty of melted butter on them. And that will be delicious. Oh yeah. So there's an easy way to get butter all over them. I'll put those back in here. And really you want to get the butter on these too. This way it just covers them with the butter. Not sure if I got enough butter there for all of them. Well, seems to be getting all over them. I want to heat up just a little bit more butter to put on these. So I'm going to put the butter in here just for another 10 seconds into the microwave. Here we go. Stir that around. All right. So, let's see. Maybe I should put these all in one. Well, let's see. My wife doesn't really like the marshmallows on them, so I'm going to do them in two separate things, and I might even bring one of these today and cook this other one up for tomorrow. We'll see how many yams get eaten today. But people seem to love the candied yams in the family, and since I didn't go down and buy yams at the store and I've got this, it's going to be used. All right. So we got two pans here, and one I'm not going to do with marshmallows, the other I am. But I am going to put brown sugar on them. So make sure you can see all this. There we go. Just grab a spoon here. My wife has me keep a crust of bread in the brown sugar, and somehow that keeps the brown sugar soft. I've got to be honest with you, I don't know how exactly that works, but it does seem to work. You know, I probably could put this brown sugar on afterward. Maybe I'll experiment. I'll put some on in this one. I probably should be putting the brown sugar on afterward. It's not going to hurt anything right now. But I'll leave it off of this one. Definitely don't put your marshmallows on until the very end. You want to just put those on, and and then you can put it on broil for just a few minutes and melt those on. But this will all get done. I'm going to grab some foil, some aluminum foil to go on the top of these. And like I said, one I'm going to leave the brown sugar on it. The other one I'm just going to wait until afterward. We'll see how it turns out. I don't think I've always put the brown sugar on until the very end, and so I'll just make sure that we do it that way now. Okay. I'll bring this over here so you can see. I'm putting these in the oven, and I've got the temperature up on this to 375. And you can put a little bit of water on these. I don't really think you need to when you've got the butter on there. And get the foil on this other one too. There we go. They're in the oven, and I'll just say, hey Google, give me a 45-minute timer.
Sure, 45 minutes. And we're starting now.
So there we go. And this is making yams out of a trombone or rampecan squash. So this is Rod. Live within your means. Thank you for your comments below. And give it a like if you like this. Try it yourself. I think you'll find that they're very good. This is Rod. Live within your means and have a wonderful day.